Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Casually Tilted Podcast. My name is Trig, and I'm the host here for episode 3. We talk about random topics that could be historical, factual. I'm with a group of strangers that are also my friends. We also like to keep the conversations fun and interesting. Technically, this is a part 2, so if you didn't see last week's episode, I recommend you go back and check it out. So the first topic that we're going to have on right now is probably a book that means a lot to our childhoods. A book that probably should have gotten banned, but you know, hindsight's 2020, and those books are going to be the scary stories to tell in the dark. Jason, do you have any memories of that book?
I've never heard of this book until now.
You've never heard of the book?
Nope.
You've never heard of the creepy ass clown head on the book? Where like it was in the libraries, and I can remember my elementary school had it, and like I remember reading them.
No, I literally have no knowledge about this book. Like this is the first time I've ever hearing about it.
Not even the movie that they made?
Again, if I say I didn't hear it once, I'm pretty sure I didn't hear it again.
Well, I know someone who here that has. So, Jay, can you give them a little bit of background to this?
Yeah, so I used to read these a lot as a kid, and I actually had all the copies of them. Basically, they're just like really dark and creepy stories that were for some reason in your school library. And they were compiled of short stories, and every one was a little bit different. They're very nostalgic. I love them very, very much.
Yeah, there was 3 books. It wasn't just like one. They had like 3, because again, you had that one. You had the dude, like a scarecrow looking dude on one of them that was just hanging out in the fucking woods. And you had a third one. I don't remember the third one as much. I remember the first 2 for sure, but the third one I definitely don't have any recollection of. How about you, Cody? Do you have any recollection of this?
I only remember these books from elementary school when, like, the library person, when we went to, I don't remember exactly why, but we go into the library and the librarian person, you know, whatever you call those people.
Librarians.
Whatever it is. They read just, like, the stories in the book and stuff. I remember she read the first one. I don't remember I know they had 2 other ones, but I don't remember the other 2. But yeah, I remember the first book heavily.
Did you read any of it by chance, or?
No, she did.
Oh, okay, I get you.
That's what I said. She read it too, like, you know, she was in a chair, like, you know, President Bush in a chair reading to the class.
Yeah, where he had to finish the story.
Yeah. That was her.
James, how about you?
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of these? So we have 2 out of 5 that never heard of this.
Yeah. I think I remember the movie. Wasn't there a television series too?
I don't remember the television series.
Yeah, I could have swore there was John Tron did an episode on the television series, or maybe that's something else entirely different. But hey,
it might be the Goosebumps, because Goosebumps had a really good TV back in the day. They had a really good show, a little cheesy, but you know, it was pretty good. But like I will say, like for me, like I remember this book in elementary school. I remember it creeped the ever living shit out of me then. And not now, because again, we're grown. We're not fucking living in that. But who knows? But more or less, it was just like creepy to be as a child to read, being allowed to read these type of stories. Like I said, my favorite one is where the dude goes to like this funeral and he's wearing a suit, and it turns out that he's dead, and he's the one that's in the suit, and it's a bunch of dead people that are there at the funeral. It's not just like people he knows. Everyone's dead there. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? That was creepy as a fucking kid. But what I'm reading right here is that the American Library Association did try to ban this book multiple times through the 90s and the 2000s, and then it made the list in 2012. But they, you know, because again, dude, these people didn't know what the fuck they were. They just saw, scary stories to tell in the dark, not realizing fucking how dark it actually fucking might be. All right, so let's go into the next topic. The next topic that we have is, since we're still on the horror topic and believing in stuff like that, and we talked about aliens last week, now the real question is, does this group believe in aliens?
Not really.
Could be there, but they're beyond us.
Funny enough,
would have heard something by now.
Funny enough, I do believe in aliens. Yes, I do.
The one person that doesn't believe in
We
ghosts.
finally found something he talks about.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they have to have. We're not the only people in this fucking universe. I don't think we'd be too stupid and too cynical to believe that. Like the Roswell incident. Now, could that have been real? Who knows? But the facts that are there really do lean towards that there being UFOs and understanding. But now it's just a fucking tourist trap. Jay, do you believe in aliens?
I do. I think for me, it doesn't really make sense to be the only people, but I think aliens can mean a wide variety of things. I don't think it, for me personally, it's not like the stereotypical, green little guys types of thing.
So like life on high shit, like those kind of fucking aliens.
Is that a movie?
No, it's a video game. That's Justin Roiland's game that he came out with, Life on High, where they like get abducted by fucking aliens and they gotta go fighting aliens the whole time. It's just your basic generic shooter from like I want to say 2021 or 2020. It came out during that time.
So I didn't know anything about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's a solid game. It's nothing special. It's not like it's if you like Justin Roiland and you like his comedy, if you loved Rick and Morty, yeah, they marketed the shit out of it for you.
Okay. Actually, since I'm not really too big into alien stuff, it probably makes sense. I never heard about this shit.
You know, that's why I'm kind of glad I got picked to host this episode, because it's like I'm really big into aliens. Like, I know one of our topics we're going to get into after this next topic is going to get into a little more of my expertise, but not like super duper crazy. But I just feel like we're not alone. There has to be, like Jay said, there has to be something out there in the universe that's not just the stereotypical aliens and shit, but there has to be something else out there.
I mean, if that's what you guys believe, if you guys believe there's something out there, I mean, that's all on you. To me, like, I feel like after all these years, something would have shown up by now. But like, most of the planets in our own solar system are just nothing but lifeless rocks and gases. Like, I feel like it'd be kind of hard for another life form to even reach us.
But where is it to say that there's not another life form that could reach us? Like, again, we're going to get into this in the next topic with specifically more of the recent sightings, not just the current, like, old stuff that we have related to UFOs and stuff like that, like the Roswell, Area 51, all those kind of things. We're going to get into a little more of a more recent, probably like a month ago, topic on it. So I'll get us into there. We're going to talk about the Las Vegas alien sightings. And I'm not talking about the ones that came out probably like earlier to late last year, where there was this fucking thing hovering in Vegas. I didn't give you anything on that one, Jason. I'm sorry to apologize on that one. I didn't give you any screenshots for that.
Okay, there's plenty of videos. And
I did give you a lot of it.
I can also just pull it up for later for the YouTube.
But yeah, so there is this fucking like massive thing just sitting in the sky in Vegas. Like the spotlights are hitting it, and it's not just like, but there's lights. It's hitting the bottom of this thing, and we don't know what it is. And it's not like a fucking normal cruise or anything. It's just sitting there, and it's lightly moving, and it's all of those searchlights are hitting it. No, but the more recent one I want to talk about is the one that happened, I want to say a month ago, where we have multiple videos on it, there was a crash of a UFO. I don't know if it was a UFO. NASA's saying it's not a UFO, but do we really trust NASA? Do we want to trust NASA? It's with the body cam footage of a crash, because there was lights. It was all lit up. It wasn't just like a small, like, fire looking light. It was more of just a thing coming in and crashing into this random backyard in Las Vegas.
I mean,
and then,
did they even pull it out though? Like, I heard about it. I really didn't care about it too much, because people just make up a bunch of shit, including Las Vegas. Las Vegas people tend to make up more, since a lot of things happen in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. But we got body cam footage from the police on one of them, I believe. I did send you the link for it. And we also have, I'm going to have Jason put a link in the description for this video of the eyewitness from one of the family members that was there. I believe it's one of the sons that was there. He's on the other body cam footage that when the police showed up there, because they made the 911 call to it. I don't know if we can possibly cut to the 911 call, but we'll figure that out. But so the one police officer catches a glimpse of this fucking blue thing falling out of the sky, and it's just like he's on a completely different call. He's not even on the family call for the 911. So he comes in, and it just fucking falls right in the frame, and everyone's just like, oh shit. And then probably moments later, that's when they make the phone call to 911, and then that's when they go investigate it. So I'm saying they're like 9 feet tall, big eyes, mostly like your standard stereotypical aliens from outer space. And he did say that they were not human, and then, you know, other police officers showed up to that, interviewed them, kept to the story, and then they just kept bringing up more of it.
So they didn't actually go investigate the crash or anything. They just
no. So on the video that's linked in there with his, they actually have footage of them trying to investigate. I don't know if this is before or after they made the 911 call. It was like a cell phone footage. Nothing too crazy isn't shown on there. I will admit to that. So I don't know if it was before or after. He didn't timestamp anything. He didn't date anything on the video, but it's on his video where he goes more in depth with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, just from like skimming through this, it doesn't seem like there's really much about it, because if you're gonna sit there and say that this was a UFO crash, at least someone should have a video of it. If it landed in your backyard, you sit there in today's world, record it. People record everything. I felt like we would have video footage of an actual crash, even with the body cam. But like,
yeah, like I said, we get the body cam footage, but we didn't get any like of it crash. We didn't get anything on the area from it. Like I said, you get that one little glimpse, but it's not like anything justifiable. But you can tell these people are freaked out from whatever's out there.
Yeah, I mean, if something fell out of the sky and landed in my yard, I would be kind of concerned about it too. But to me, like, I would probably assume that'd be more of a plane going down before I assume that as a UFO. Like, there's so much things that could be a satellite from space actually end up coming into the atmosphere and then crashing. Like that, like there's so much that could be. Like, you had to show me an actual video of the crash to make me believe it's anything else.
Yeah, because NASA's coming out saying it's a comet, but
if it was a comet, it would have destroyed so much more.
Yeah, because there's no like, they didn't even go at the crash scene. Like they didn't. That's what makes me think it's not a comet. Because if it was a comet, it would have, like you said, it would have left more of a damage to the area. They would have been able to see the comet and able to have photographs of it. We don't know what happened after it, because it could have either they could have fixed it real quick and then off it goes. But like you said they had security footage, but they haven't given it to anybody. They haven't shown anything on it. Yeah,
see, like that type of stuff would need to be shown for me to like think any of that's real. Because like, again, just like with last episode, we talked about we live in an age of editing, or editing can be extremely good. That could all has been an edited video with people acting up and then acting weird. And like, yeah, it got big and something did come out of the sky and crash, but like to sit there and say it was either a meteor or a UFO is just, show me the rock, show me what land for me to believe. Because like, I just had an alien land in my yard not too long ago.
Oh, where's the footage?
Oh, I didn't have it.
Oh,
like,
okay,
that's literally why I just. But like, oh yeah, I have video footage, but it just shows me pointing at my window and the light in my yard going off. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you need to have so much more to make me believe that was something. Like, I would more believe it if it was a plane that just had an accidental crash and fell apart in the sky or something. Like, it was something like. There's been even moments where engines have actually fallen off a plane. I would believe that more, that an engine fell off before a UFO landed. Because, like, to sit there and say a meteor crashed, it would have done a lot more damage I mean, granted, I don't know how much damage it currently is, but I'm pretty sure that person's house probably wouldn't be standing.
No, it happened. It hit one of like their lots of land that's behind them, I guess.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know. Seems like there's just a little too much space between to make me truly think it's real.
But yeah, like I said, that's why I stumbled upon the video of the kid explaining everything, and he goes into great detail with it. So I don't know if you want to put that in the description or not. Give the kid credit.
Okay, get it pulled up. I'll get it pulled up. Let's see if it's working. All right.
Theory.
7 minutes. Let's see what this is about. Turn it off.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I'm trying to explain the best of my abilities. This is not a conspiracy theory.
As I say, I can't hear it.
Yep, I know. I'm changing it right now. Just one hot second and we'll get it going. There we go.
I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. And I know some people are not gonna believe this, but each person is different. So this is what happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. And me and my brother looked at each other and we were scared, but when the impact happened, it was sort of like a shock wave. Like an out-of-body experience. So to say, when I tried to look at the object, it was all blurry, not my vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later, the blurriness was gone. And here's the footage of the body, the police officer's body cam, and here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video. Here's a ring camera video. You could hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video.
Okay, with just that alone, I think that's enough from that video that we really need.
Yeah, no, but they did go to shoot something afterwards with the when they go and investigate it. But
there's actually more to that, like actually worth going through.
Yeah, I mean, there's just
that,
a little bit more.
That alone does give enough information for me to like kind of sit there.
I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st, 2023.
No, a little bit more to the left.
Seconds later, I told me to good.
Kylo, Chero, que chica.
Here?
Yeah.
Kylo, Chero.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me.
You want to go back a little bit?
He told me shakingly, look behind the forklift. So
no,
I looked.
like.
Yeah,
keep in mind I'm facing the
I
forklift.
went straight to the front.
You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's a video.
¡Ay! ¡Permisar! Calmungarela, me canceles var eso. Kylo, Chero, que chica. Kylo, Chero.
Moments after the video.
Okay, so I'm gonna be fair with you. That's just like the Snow White thing again. Like, didn't see anything. It just kept its distance. That's nah. That's so much harder to prove for me to believe. Now the light, I have more belief that light was probably just a burning engine, because with flames and stuff, actually, we all know that flames can actually change color based off of the material that is burning. And I believe if an engine did catch fire, it would actually burn red, and then if it hits a certain element, it actually will burn a brighter green, which is possible because we've done that with our bonfires before. And I would more believe that it's probably just some type of machinery that someone was testing, like the government or whatever. I believe it's probably something that they were working on and it just kind of caught fire and landed. I would believe that so much more than sit there and say that was aliens, because there's no investigation of it. There's nothing that happened. We just saw a big ball of fire hit something, and based off the sound, it didn't really sound like. Of course, I've not really listened to any meteors hit, but I'm pretty sure a rock hitting dirt wouldn't sound like a very metallic object.
Yeah, so I don't. And that's why I don't believe the NASA's thing saying it wasn't meteor.
Yeah, so I don't know. That just seems kind of odd to come out as like say it's a meteor when and not show any videos or picture of it. Makes it even harder to believe.
Yeah, and speaking of like when you were talking about the flames and changing colors, we have a resident welder here, James. Now, what materials, like you said, would be able to change colors of the flame? Like what, from your knowledge?
Oh, he is muted.
Thank you, James. Thank you, James.
Well,
Jason, you're also on that line of work. What more? What?
Well, I don't work with much fire. I don't actually do any welding. I am
More like fire and understanding, like
Here I was muted.
Oh, great. Thank you, James. Please intervene.
I was gonna say I don't know any type of metals that do that type of stuff.
Well,
That is not
really
something.
the metals. It's more the material, certain materials,
Yeah,
like certain
the
chemicals
materials.
and certain what is it?
All
not
like
chemicals, materials. I'm just gonna say materials for now, but it's like chemicals and stuff that do that.
Yeah, for the closest thing to chemicals I ever deal with is argon gas, or is another gas type that we use for torches. But the argon gas essentially keeps the molten steel in that centralized area, so that when it solidifies, it will bond with the metals. So there's nothing of the sort. I don't know. Oh, if you do certain type of chemicals to this steel, because we primarily just work with steel, that it will turn purple or orange and green.
Yeah, so like for the fire that was going off, it was like a greenish flame, which for a greenish flame it'd be aluminum or copper sulfate. Copper sulfate. Those two are very much what changes the flame green.
Interesting.
So at the end, there is a metal that does change it because it's aluminum, and
But what if it's more like a blue? Because it's burning blue. Yeah, I think it's more blue than green.
It was like a very greenish color,
like a cyan, kind of like a in between.
Oh, for a bluish flame, light green flame, which should be 4x. For a bluish flame, there's really nothing here that talks about bluish flame. I see light green, green, red, yellow, orange, white flame.
Now, what about that light green? What was that thing that made the light green?
Borax. It just says laundry. Borax laundry. That's what it says.
That's fucking weird.
Borax is a type of
it's a chemical.
Detergent,
yeah.
But there's a compound that's called like borax also.
Yeah, so that's what it is. It's just it's chemicals that are burning that causes the
oh yeah, if it's borax, what the hell are they using with borax? What would be flying with that,
I'm more thinking it might be aluminum because of the fact that it is like I said, most of our materials now we use aluminum on because it's lighter and cheaper to use. So even with cars now, we would actually have mostly aluminum instead of steel. I would assume that eventually, if a car actually would get hot enough to burn, like extremely hot enough for aluminum to get down, it would actually end up slightly changing the color. But there's still a lot of chemicals that go into all that. So to me, whatever that was, it had been like aluminum object, caught real big flame. Maybe I would hate to say something that came from the space, like a satellite or anything, because if a satellite fell down, that'd be actually what I would understand why NASA would hide that, because that would be yeesh.
Because like we know, NASA's been trying to hide this stuff for years.
Yeah, I mean it's dependent. I still don't think it's an alien object, but I have more belief that it was probably an object that was made here and then just came down crashing.
Okay, Jay, what's your opinion on it?
Jay.
She muted.
Yeah, I was on accident. Hold on.
Why is everyone muting today? Come on now.
I know everyone's mute happy today.
Oh, I'm drinking drinks. For me, it just comes kind of down to like I don't think aliens are like that personally. So like when you see stuff or like people talking about UFOs are just unregistered aircrafts in airspace. So it can literally be an airplane or just anything that hasn't gone through air traffic control.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, Jay, since you're speaking about that, there is actually, I heard this from a different podcast, that they were talking about you could actually assemble your own plane. You could build your own plane. And there was someone that did it, and it was made of most random crap. And you do have to get it registered, just for everyone knows. You could order it and build it, but you do have to get it registered as a plane. So I can sit there and believe someone probably built it, made it, and was just didn't bother registering it. So it could have been just a random plane that someone had built, and it just got down and went down.
So the types of things I think about, because like drones even qualify technically as UFOs, depending on how close they are.
That's true.
To
man, I mean think about
airspace
drones.
or like busy airspace, like where we're at, because we have the rescue helicopters and like stuff like that. You aren't allowed to fly drones, like where we live, because of it.
Yeah, I actually didn't think about drones because of the fact that you can actually get pretty decent sized drones now, and
for like $200,
Like
yeah.
cargo drones almost.
well, even that, like it could have been actually maybe a test drone that someone was doing, and it went down on its test flight or something. Maybe it got shot down. We don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like that's the thing about conspiracy theories. Like, you can sit there and build more and more off of just one alone. And like this whole thing was about aliens, but for me, I don't believe it. So I'm debunking it as more like it's an object that we made. It probably fell either from the space or from someone's flight.
Yeah.
Could happen.
How-
A lot of things could happen with it.
Yeah. How I look at it is like, for me, that doesn't really say anything for aliens, but like it could still be scary for the people that it happened to and stuff, because it can still be technically like unexplainable to a certain degree to them. But like you said, like it could be, just something that fell and like somebody wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for me, it doesn't align with what I think aliens are or what they mean for us.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if aliens did exist, and they actually did come to our planet for whatever god reason, I doubt there'd be any way for any government to be able to hide such a thing, because like this with the modern day technology, it would spread so damn quick. Like it just wouldn't make sense for any of that to be hidden at all.
I mean, that's the thing. The government could also be covering a lot of things up that we don't know about. That who knows? They could be. There's a lot of things that we probably not knowing about.
Yeah, I mean,
because how long has Area 51 been a fucking secrecy for people? I'm not just saying this because we're on the topic of aliens.
Because the thing is with Area 51, like you can sit there and just say it's an alien facility, but I'm more willing to believe it's more like the area where we keep a lot of mass weaponry, and they just don't want anyone to go near it. Because you gotta think about it, it's only limited it's in the middle of a desert. You got very limited people that go in and out, and mostly scientists. I feel it's more of just certain research that probably gets done there, which could be very dangerous if it's in a urbanized area, which is probably the reason why they just exclude that to a desert. Because I can only imagine it's something like they're doing some weird shady research. Because again,
yeah, probably something that's not really good for the public to know.
Yeah, I mean, like they could have aliens and all that in there, but like to me, but again, modern day technology and people stoking out Area 51 almost all the time, I felt like we would have seen something by now. Because normal trucks, we all know how normal trucks look with even oversized loads, and half of them they couldn't even hide like half of the shit they need. So it wouldn't make sense how they would get anything in and out without anyone really knowing.
I'm trying to remember what that one guy's name was. The one that was trying to be the whistleblower for Area 51, saying that they had aliens in there. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm gonna give me a second to look that up. But while I'm looking that up, Cody, what's your opinion on this video that I brought to you today?
It was not believable.
Didn't he say that
No,
already?
you know how I feel about kind of shit like that, videos like that, man. You know, like the video was way too blurry for me to see what was going on, and then two, there was just like nothing really happening after it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there was more like presentable shit happening where I'm like, oh damn, okay, maybe, but like I genuinely, it's mostly all the videos I always see. You know, it's always the same thing over and over again when someone's trying to make you believe something.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, his name is Bob Lazar, is the guy's name. He's been on Joe Rogan. I think he was on Joe Rogan. Don't quote me on that. I think he might have been on Joe Rogan because they were talking about a lot of, evidence and stuff. Because he would sit on the mountains by Area 51, watching flying saucers flying, leaving in there without people knowing. Because people, like you said, it's in the middle of the desert. Who's gonna fucking go out there during the 80s?
I mean, a lot of people apparently, because around the 80s is around that time where a lot of the hippie stuff where a lot of alien stuff were actually coming to light, where people were just making this shit up and constantly moving and going. Because I think around the 80s is when everyone was just getting high and having fun, and so fun little stories like that just came around.
Yeah, so what I'm reading on Wikipedia, Balazar is an American businessman and conspiracy theorist who claims he was hired in the late 1980s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology. So, like, he was hired by the government to work on this. So it's just more of like you said, take a pinch of salt. Because again, he could just be pulling this out of his ass, but he's been saying this for honestly, I want to say 30, 40 years. He's been on this train of saying that he's done this and all this and that. I think he had video proof, and then someone fucking took the video proof from him, and then they were hiding it again, and I think someone famous got it. I don't remember who got the video of it, but somebody has it.
Probably the government.
Probably. They probably
if they want, it's like the whole thing with the camera thing. It was a whole secrecy thing about government spying us through cameras until someone broke oath and said it and then fled the country.
Wasn't that Snowden?
I don't know. I don't really care about that, but it's to me, it's like if you're gonna have a video about it, I'm pretty sure the government would just claim it because it's technically their property at that point. Everything is their property at that point. And
everything
to
is
sit
their
there and let
property.
someone, yeah, and to let someone from the government, including Area 51, sit there and go out of the way to sit there and actually say stuff like that and not immediately detain them. Like, the man fled the country because he sat there and said the government's spying on us. He got away with just sitting there saying it's a bunch of UFO, and the government just didn't do anything about it. I feel like, including with the 80s, I feel like the government could have easily have gotten rid of someone like that. Because they're big about keeping their secrecy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You don't sit there and like get away with a lot of shit.
I think he did get arrested for it. But who knows? It's all a bunch of he said, she said bullshit. Yeah, conspiracies.
That's what all this is. That's what this
is. James, what do you have on this so far? What is your opinion? Let me hear it let me hear your opinion in less than 5 words on this topic.
About the same as Cody. It's hard to really, really prove it. I mean, If we're talking,
Oh,
if
he
we're
did
still
get
in
it at 5.
yeah, I was just gonna expand on that afterwards. But yeah, no, if it's one of those things where you really have to televise it and make it like get up in face of it to make me actually believe it. And just saying, oh yeah, it happened. You can just gotta trust me, bro. Trust the source, bro. Yeah, no.
I think a lot of people lie. It's hard to really trust any sources without dignifying proof, which is hard to get nowadays, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, so just how we all feel about the aliens, I guess. It's just hard to prove anything unless we see it.
All right, so to piggyback off of what Jay and Jason were talking about how, you know, you could technically get a drone and be a unidentified flying object. Let's talk about how the government now is trying to get away from the term unidentified flying object. They're trying to get away from it because the stigma from the 50s in Roswell apparently has left a big sour taste in everyone's fucking left a taste in everybody's mouth that nobody wants to talk about. So that's why they developed the new term of UAPs, unidentifiable aerial phenomena. Again, it's a fucking mouthful. It's fucking it's stupid.
Sounds like an extra step, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's like you said, it's an extra step. I don't know why they want to get rid of it. It's been more recently like they tried to get away from the UFO and then go to UAP.
I feel
and
like
I'm just
that
yeah.
is
Go on.
just, I feel like that's just like the same type of person that would sit there and have all that extra time on their hands to just sit there and just try to rename things for no reason. Because like that is a mouthful and a half.
It
feels like it's a tongue twister, one of those tongue twisters. Because like God, just even trying to think about that really just put my brain through doing that. Like what the fuck?
But I mean, I get why they're trying to get away from the UFO. But again, because not everything UFO is alien.
Yeah.
So the UAP kind of doesn't give the alien stigma on it. Like here, I'll let's go to some of the videos I sent you. We'll go to the first one with the FLIR one. We'll go to that one. So these videos were initially released back in, I want to say 2016, if I'm correct on the upload date from this. Yeah, 2017. So yeah, 2017 is when these were initially released to the public. And this was videos that were from Tom DeLonge's To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science. Now, these videos were eventually declassified fully by the government. They came out and had to give, saying like, we're going to get ahead of this. And this happened during 2020, so nobody gave a fuck about it.
Oh well, 2020
You know what I mean?
had a lot going on in that year. Like,
So that's why I said that's why they did it purposefully, to announce it then.
I mean,
and then you'll-
that's how the government is, though. Like, they choose when they want to announce and release stuff because it could be easily brushed under something else.
Yeah, that's why they tried to do it with all the you know, stuff that was going on. So that's all they were picking up on. So that's why they figured, hey, let's just confirm these videos that they were real. You know, because again, they jumped the gun. Tom DeLonge and them definitely jumped the gun on all releasing these videos. So let's watch I think it's about to come up right here. Yeah, they're explaining all the mock numbers and everything. And I believe there's audio to it too. So if you want to turn the audio on.
I turned it off because they were playing music. And the music I'm playing is all stuff I already have. Now, for me, it's just a very blurry video, so just sit there and just try and assume it's a round object. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I think the UAP suits this more than a UFO, because again, we don't know what this is. This is just a random thing flying in the sky. Now the other ones are, I think, gimbal is a little bit more interesting because that one's actually going faster than the people that are tracking it, because they actually have to catch it. Because yeah, gimbal. If you want to start it from where the start point is on the video, because that's where it is at. It's not on the. I have them set to where it skips most of the hoopla, and it gets us right to it.
What, the next one?
Yeah, the gimbal.
The gimbal.
Gimbal gets us right into the. Explains more of what's going on for everything.
Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna skip all this because we already been through this.
Yeah, this is just explaining more of the altitude and.
Dude, there's a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing! It's rotating.
And again, these
interesting audio.
And again, like someone tried saying, "Oh, this people of military don't talk like that." As our case in point, Jay, does Broden talk like this? Just not very. I don't want to be rude. It's just straightforward. There's not like fancy talk behind it. It's just normal talk. There's not like, "Oh, I heard they're going." Da, 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 da. It's just straightforward to the point. Like there's no like crazy things we're gonna talk through. It's just normal, like just regular talking. Nothing crazy.
I mean, you don't need to have secret code words for everything.
Well, like specifically for what he does, there is like a really particular way you have to talk and communicate. Because if you communicate wrong, it messes with the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what. Like I don't know if it's different necessarily for what he does, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because these are just pilots that are flying through here, that are flying and they're catching this on their cameras. Now, this one, I believe, is another one. I think this is the Tic Tac one where they have to catch it.
Alright, skipping all this again. Anyone that really cares about reading that could do that themselves.
So were they talking pilot code or something?
Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at it fly!
I mean, the thing is, I can believe that because actually, I've been watching a lot of videos about different type of military planes and stuff, and a lot of the pilots do talk like that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's only certain situations where they speak in code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean like speaking in code. I'm just saying that there's like a specific way you have to
Address
communicate. Like it's not very casual. Like you can have casual conversations, but that's why I said I wasn't sure if it was different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I have the release from the U.S. Department of Defense here. I have that linked, and I'll basically quick read it. Department of Defense has authorized the release of 3 unclassified Navy videos, one taken in November 2004 and the other in January 2015, which had been circulating in the public domain in unauthorized releases in 2007 and 2017, i.e. Tom DeLonge shout outs to the man himself. The U.S. Navy has previously acknowledged that these videos were circulating in the public domain were indeed Navy videos. After thorough review, the department has determined that the authorized release of unclassified videos does not reveal any sensitive capabilities or systems and does not impinge on subsequent investigations of military airspace incursions by unidentified aerial phenomena, i.e. UAP. And it's just basically saying that they're doing this to say that these are real and that they're not like fake or not. How do I say it? Not fake, but they're just
Like
that they're real. Yeah, that they're forged. They're legitimate videos.
Yeah.
And this was done April 27th, 2020. Again, we weren't talking about aliens in 2020, but it was like, again, my certain circle that I'm in was following all this, and again, from like 2017 when this was all coming out, I was watching all these when they came out, forcing a lot of my friends to watch them and be like, this is fucking real. This is the shit. And they're like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, you're stupid. And they still say that now, but it's just more like, you're an idiot. This isn't fucking real. And then when the government has to come out and say that these are real videos, that's when shit should just be, point one to Tom DeLonge, and then just move on from there. Because he's the reason that these videos in 2017 got released. I don't know how he got them. I kind of know how he got them, but that's a long story that we could easily take 45 minutes on.
Yeah, I don't
think we have that long.
Yeah, we don't have 45 minutes.
Yeah,
for that.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, we got other topics to talk about. We can move on from this, but just basically, Jason? What is your opinion on this? Just quick little tidbits on this.
I still don't believe it's alien aircraft. You would have to actually show me an actual alien for me to believe. Like, I'm not saying like even a video one, because we have today's world of great makeup artists and all that. I would have to be actually there in person to see it. I would have to actually visually see it, because I would not trust anything otherwise. And even then, I probably would not even want to visually look at it, because I don't really care for aliens. But to me, it's like we've made several fast aircrafts in our lifetime here on this planet, and some even breaking the sound barrier several times. So to me, I can see that more of just like either another test flight for another, jet or something, more than anything.
Like I said, that's why the UAP helps a little bit, because they're not confirming it's alien. This is just a phenomena that cannot be explained.
Yeah. I mean, you can assume around it, but it's hard to sit there and say when it's a blurry blob flying.
Jay, what's your opinion on it?
I don't know. Like, I think if they had released them and then made the disclaimer of like, these don't mean anything, then I take that as they investigated it, figured out what happened after the fact, and then we're like, okay, like, yeah, this isn't like what people would think that it is. But like I said, like, unidentified can literally mean anything that's not regulated by air traffic control. And the people that do that stuff and investigate that stuff every single day.
But again, that's why I'm on full board with the UAP using that as a term, because again, it could be alien, could not be alien. We don't know. There's just too much that we don't know about what's going on with it. Cody, how about you?
What?
What do you think about these videos I just showed you in the UAP topic?
I'm not gonna lie, it's the same thing. Like I said last time, it's just hard for me to believe in these videos, because it just doesn't show incriminating evidence to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see define shit happen. Like, I want to see up close aliens.
Yeah, same with me.
Like, even when they did explain that they are going the opposite of the wind direction. They're going into the wind. And then how it's turning and it's going fast through the thing. Again, I'm not saying it's alien. I'm just saying that this is a unidentified aerial phenomena. And it's confirmed by the government. that this did happen, and and they're real. They're not like hoaxes. They're not edited. They're just straight up videos from the Navy cabin camera that's catching it.
Yeah, but we all gotta keep that in mind that the government just shows us what they want to show us. They don't need to show us everything. So
Because again, there could be
you
more.
You can't trust
I don't-
what you see.
I think they would show anything that would cause mass hysteria. That's why I said like they probably investigated it and figured out what it was.
Yeah, can you imagine if it was an actual alien and all that? That would never come to light ever.
All right, so let's move on. James, do you have anything to say on this topic?
Not really. No. No, I got nothing.
All right, when with James giving minimal effort, and I love it. I love it.
No problem. I aim to please.
And you're pleasing very
Oh.
much.
Okay.
Oh, that's the insights.
I don't know if I want to be here anymore.
I don't know if I want to be here. Count me out. Now, let's get on to everyone's favorite section of the podcast. Let's do Jay's Power Minute.
All the hype.
All the hype in the world.
Don't worry, Jay. I'll edit it and make it really hype in the video, alright?
That's why I said it's going to be edited.
It'll
Hype
put,
as fuck.
it'll put like blowhorns and all that other good stuff.
Gonna put you on a stage and everything.
I've been trying to think of what making,
my power minute I'm gonna talk about.
I've been trying to think of like what to make my power minute.
Oh, it
But
sucks.
So you're going to move us, Jason?
Oh, I did not have that set up. Oh. I don't think I have that actually set up for this one. I don't know how I did
Rip.
it. Yeah, sorry, Jay, you're not gonna be up top for this one. Sorry.
That's fine. Let's talk about how expensive cute school supplies is.
Bro, yeah, for real. Fuck that shit. That shit was expensive.
Like you could do school with anything, but like I find like myself, because I have like ADHD and stuff, like I want to use stuff that will like keep me entertained, but like that I will like actually use it. So like I was like on Amazon, like trying to look at stuff. I found some like cute pencils and stuff like that, like Sanrio stuff, Koralakuma, Rylakuma. Those are like the bears that I like and whatnot. But it was so expensive, and I'm talking like bare essentials, like notebooks, pencils, pens, erasers, stuff like that. Like it's like annoying how expensive it is.
Yeah, no,
And I just
get that.
want cute stuff. Even like regular school supplies, like sometimes is like up there.
I remember shopping for my little brother. That shit was expensive. Trying to get him
Yeah.
all his little middle school supplies. It's just too expensive for a
Like, I
yearly
just-
thing. It's like paying
Yeah.
a yearly subscription.
It's like I just want to be, you know, in college with just cute notebooks and stuff like that. Especially because I'm doing it at home, you know. Like I just want the entertainment that comes along with it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
convinced about.
I was gonna say, imagine that, and also imagine being a teacher having to buy your own supplies. Like, can you imagine the expenses that's gonna come on you for?
Come on, you baby.
Wait, hold up. What type of teacher
Oh,
are you talking
no.
about?
I say like
Hey,
school
yo!
supplies, just overall, is
I
just
need
like
extra credit.
expensive.
What are you doing, step teacher?
No.
Step teacher, Jesus.
Oh no. Yeah. No, Jay, you're 100% right. Like, school supplies are too expensive for what it is, including for like teachers. Also, like they buy for entire class too. They can't be. They have to be putting some serious money into it because a lot of teachers will put it in their own money. Like I have friends.
Yeah, there's not a budget for it.
Yeah, I have friends on Facebook like that, and they're all teachers and all that, and they sit there and have a like, I wouldn't say a GoFundMe page, but like a kind of like a Amazon wish list to sit there and buy stuff for their room. Because in order to have stuff for the room, they have to buy it themselves. The school doesn't supply anything or give them a budget.
Yeah, teachers have to decorate their own rooms and whatnot using
is
their own
wild.
money. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
because you would think with the money that they're getting from the school, you know, how much like tuition and shit like that. That should really go towards the teachers to help them get supplies. You know, it's not just.
I mean, they
Oh.
should have like a budget for the room. Be like, hey, here's how much you use this much for whatever, however you want for this room you're gonna be in. Like, if you want to decorate your room to make it look all nice and to your way to help kids be more welcome to this room, here's your budget. Like,
Yeah.
that should just be how it is, because then teachers would be more willing to like customize.
Give a shit.
Well, no, there's a lot of teachers that give a shit. It's just like the budget of having a certain amount of money to sit there and decorate a room should be a lot higher, or it should exist. I shouldn't say a lot higher. It should just exist. Because I mean, a couple $100 would do that. It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, a couple $100 would help with supplies.
Because I can't.
Yeah,
Like,
but you gotta
if I
pay
was a
these
teacher, I
goddamn
would never
super-
pay for that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I come from a big family of like teachers, like my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, my mom, and they all like will post like you said, like Amazon wish lists and stuff like that, because things get like torn down throughout the year and stuff like that. I mean, because they're kids, it's bound to happen. My brother's a high school teacher, and even then, like, stuff gets old and whatnot, and you want your room to feel warm and comforting and stuff like that. You don't want it to be like basic white walls. Like my brother has like a theme. It's like Harry Potter and Star Wars and like stuff like that and whatnot. But yeah, expensive. Or like even like my books. Like, so one of my books are not expensive. My other one's free, provided from my teacher. And then taking an art class, so I have like an art kit that's like $169. That's kind of like up there, but it comes with like a lot of stuff. But then I have this sociology book that has like 5 different options, and some of them are like, oh, like used books or new books, and they're all above $150.
Goddamn.
Yeah, like my English book I think was like $30 brand new, and I like to annotate and stuff like that. I could have gotten it digital, but like I like to write in my books and stuff. Yeah, but this sociology book, I looked at it and I was like, this book is really expensive.
That's another thing. I don't think college books should be that fucking goddamn expensive. It's just a fucking ripoff.
Be provided if you're paying that much for tuition.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's ridiculous.
Or give students a budget, like, oh, here's a couple $100. And I know that's like fast food for and stuff like that, but like I meant from the school. Like obviously they have enough money.
Well, it's funny enough, like with schools and stuff, like I guess it would depend on how the school ratings are, because you know how schools get budgets based off how well their what yearly graduation is, like their graduation rate or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like how well they're able to have intelligent kids. Not like intelligent kids, but the way they are able to boost kids properly and teach them properly is all based on how much they do in order to get a budget. And like my old high school that closed down, their budget would increase because of how good our school was, and then we got newer stuff, and then in like some years we just didn't get anything because their budget went down. It just is how it is.
Explains a lot about our high school, Cody.
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
They cut everything.
Everything gets cut. Everything is gone.
All right. Yeah, that was a fun 5 minutes.
Hey, that's
5 minute power minute.
That's the thing with Jay's Power Minute.
Well, if you think about it, there's 5 of us here, and now it's a minute for each of us.
yeah, that's true.
Say, I do my little spiel, and then y'all can add it after that.
But, I mean,
yeah, that's the point of our Power Minute.
It was a good conversation because it had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's not just like here's a minute where I can talk about whatever I want, and then nobody picks off on it. It's there for people to pick you up on, to have their feelings and their opinions on whatever you bring. Because like you said, it's completely out of the fucking UFO conspiracy talks. That's fucking crazy that we can go from talking like that and then going into our hatred for school, and then
Man, how did the jump go from there to there?
Jump goes crazy.
It went wild. That was a quick jump. I didn't even think about that. But all right.
I have a picture for you to add in later.
Okay, send that to me. No, add it in.
So getting back to the fucking conversations that we're having, besides the UFO conspiracies and all that stuff, what are some of the conspiracies that we all personally believe in? Jason, what do you believe in conspiracy-wise?
Now, I don't I mean, it's hard to say I would really believe it because, like, again, my brain works in a way where it's like it's all super hyperactive when it comes to this stuff. So I wouldn't necessarily say I would believe it because without visual proof, I really find it hard to believe. But I love actually talk about skinwalkers and Wendigos because it's a very interesting thing to come across. Not like actually see, but like just interesting thing that people make. Like,
Maybe I want to fuck around and fight a skinwalker. You know, you never know.
Really, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, Mason's on that game.
To me, reading on what that shit is, seeing what people say it is, and what people talk about, like that stuff is scary. That's like something I would ever want to see, but it's interesting to still know about.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Jay,
how
what are
a
some
Wendigo is
conspiracies
made?
you're into?
Okay, do you know
Isn't
how
it
a Wendigo is
like,
made?
Yeah.
Isn't it about the spirit possessing you and you have to eat the flesh of a human or something like that?
So, what?
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Let me actually bring up my thing because I actually made notes about this because I was actually very interested about this topic. And a Wendigo is basically what in a colder region up north around Canada, it's a person that eats another person, human flesh cannibalism, and a evil spirit actually possesses that body once you do so, and it transforms that body into a weird creature mixed between human and animal. Because a lot of like early on and even newer ones, the creature would have let me find the actual description. Where is it? It would say these things would commit evil acts of taboo, and the person engaged will be eating human. Folklore talks about how it's a humanoid creature with animal-like features. They are described that have long limbs, sharp claws, and teeth. Its skin is tautly pulled over its bone, which tautly is just tight, extremely tight. Eyes will be sunk into its sockets with a very red glow to it, and it gives off an eerie odor of decay as its flesh has suppurations all over its body. I'm butchered that word hella hard, but basically it's the body is decayed and has pus coming out of it.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what the description of the thing is. Like the body's not kept up, like as if it's like the cells of the body is decaying at a faster rate than it can keep up. And like it's crazy, like hearing how the description is, because a lot of me sitting there saying it has antlers, and that's a lot of descriptions. Like that's where the animal part is. It comes with a weird deer-like structure for a face, but it has human teeth and eyes and a body, but longer limbs and claws and stuff. Like it's extremely eerie to fucking hear about this.
Before dawn.
Yeah.
Until dawn.
Until dawn. There we go.
But Until Dawn was kind of more like a humanish version of Wendigos, which is
Yeah, but I mean it's the same thing, but they didn't go down like you said the antler route and the fucking
they didn't go like the animal route, because the thing is like the Wendigos and I'm sorry, I'm gonna go very deep into this. Skinwalkers and Wendigos it's my thing. I like I said, I listen to a lot of stuff like this and I like it, so I never would ever want to come across something like this if it did exist, but
oh no,
like hearing it. So like it was actually a bunch of Native American tribes that came across this, and the Wendigos came from a Algonquin speaking tribes, and the word Wendigo actually means evil spirit. And let's see, I had more for this. Where is it? I think it's called the Naboo. Oh my god, I'm butchering
Naboo.
it. I'm butchering it. I'm butchering it too
You're
much.
talking Senator Amidala's fucking planet, Naboo?
No. I wrote this down. Now I can't find it.
While you're looking for that, Jay, what conspiracies do you believe in?
I mean, I wouldn't call them conspiracies. I'd call it more like folklore and stuff like that. So kind of aligned, like with what Jason is saying and stuff like that. Wendigos, skinwalkers and stuff.
Yeah, because we're gonna have a semi deep dive on the skinwalkers, and I'm here in a minute.
So I'll continue on when we get to that.
There's stuff like that. Like I think has a lot of history behind it, and it was here before we were here. But that's just kind of like what they freak me out, and they scare me basically.
Oh, it scares me too,
It is.
Jay.
I think it would scare anyone.
Cody, what conspiracies do you believe in?
So my conspiracy theory is scarier than all the ones you guys brought up so far. It's that the Big Mac is not real.
Bro, no, hold on. You can't be doing that. Don't do that to my favorite sandwich.
Yeah, it's
They just
spooky,
released Big Mac sauce too.
dude. Like,
What have I been eating?
what if I told you that actually the Big Mac is just a hamburger?
What if I tell you to go
can't do
drink
that
a Grimace shake?
Yo, for real though? Yo, that terrifies me. No, Grimace shake coming for you boys. You better watch out.
I was about to say, why don't you go chug a Grimace shake and have him come after your ass?
He just
Nah,
wanted to
man.
celebrate his birthday.
And people who were just spitting out his drink so rudely. Why?
James, what conspiracies do you believe in?
Hmm. Couldn't really think of a conspiracy right off the top of my head. It's one, yeah. It's not much. I'm not bringing a lot, but geez, it's like one of those things where it's government based, where it's like, oh, the government, aliens, and so on and so forth. Maybe they have super futuristic technology in Area 51, or somewhere in the mountains. There's some monks that can light paper on fire by rubbing it real fast. But there's all sorts of stuff that you can also pitch towards that.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, like, so for me, as an example, I do believe in a lot of conspiracies, like, of course, like the aliens, ghosts, and stuff like that. I could go on for hours with my conspiracies and everything that.
Well,
for me, it was always
you believe in a
it was
lot
always
of
the
conspiracies, though. Like, you
yeah. That's why I said a lot of
every
conspiracies,
single
but
one
I
of
feel like my biggest one is the aliens for sure. Alien conspiracies. I've been on. That
I
for
can
probably
get
about-
behind you with the aliens, but every other one that you have, I'm like, oh, I don't know, Mason. That one ain't real, bro.
Like, I don't know. That's just me. Like my biggest one is always the aliens. That's why I was grateful to get picked as host for this episode. So
Do it. Well, I can say right now,
Yeah,
like,
definitely
my
shows.
biggest wish is I just get beamed up one day and they just fucking do the research, if you know what I mean. And I'm like,
they mean probe you completely.
I mean, hey, I didn't say it,
So,
but you know, they're like, and
so
then I
like
can
you-
help them understand the human race. You know,
So
I'll
if
do
I
it for
show
all
up to your
human
house,
race.
so if
He's
I show
not
up to your
alien.
house
Wait.
with no
Actually,
with
yes,
a
you are.
drone. No, but with a drone. If I show up to your house with a drone and the light, and I try to beam you up,
Beam me up, Scotty.
He's
they
going.
can't
You know damn well he's going ass first.
Dude,
It's like, come on, do it.
it's like the
Face down, ass up.
wait, remember, this is the end movie where didn't one of the guys get beamed upside down or something stupid? That's gonna be me, bro. Just getting beamed up.
Bro,
I'm like, no, what are you doing, step alien?
what are you doing, step alien?
okay, I'm not gonna lie, Cody. I'm pretty sure after that they would probably just cancel the beam and drop you.
They're like, oh, get a new one.
Oh, find us a different
I
one that
don't want
doesn't call
this
us
one.
What is a
aliens.
different guy? They beam up James, and James is just like, I'm not sure if I have anything for that.
Well, Jay goes, I'm not sure if I have a comment on this. If you guys
I don't know.
probing me
Am
right
I
now.
gonna get pro? Oh, you guys got furries up there? All right, let's go. They drop them.
Imagine they put on a furry suit for you, James. Would you be happy if an alien put on a furry
Okay.
suit?
Fuck yeah, sign me up, baby.
No,
Hey,
Big
intergalactic
alien
furries.
wolf mommy. Please.
Conspiracy theory: furries are intergalactic.
Exactly.
Intergalactic furries. That's James's favorite fucking
Jesus
conspiracy
Christ.
theory. Now, getting back on topic, Jason has been so on and so forth. It doesn't really fucking matter. So getting back with everything, like Jason said, he has a lot to talk about with the Skinwalkers. So let's give Jason the time to talk about the Skinwalkers and his research he's done and the videos that we both brought.
All right, real quick before you really started this, you brought up something like the spirit takes over their body. Like, does it take over the person that ate the person or the person's dead body that got ate?
The person
No.
that eats the human
person
flesh
who
is
ate it.
considered.
Yeah, the person who ate
it's considered a taboo in the Navajo
Navajo.
Navajo
Navajo.
Navajo
Algonquin.
tribes. Man, I'm really stuttering now. Navajo tribes. It's considered taboo. So when they actually consume the flesh, it considered a evil spirit takes over that body, and you basically don't become you anymore. it's the evil spirit's body now, and it transforms into a form that fits them. That's basically what the tribes have described it for centuries now. And it's the same with skinwalkers, actually. Like, skinwalkers were not, like, the same as, like, the whole flesh-eating Wendigos stuff. But it's the same style, it's just a little bit different taboo. And with the... I'm going to be jumping back to Wendigos real quick, because I did have something crazy about the Wendigos. I did find something, apparently... And this is not any actual evidence, it's just apparent thing that
allegedly
has happened. Yeah, allegedly. For one of the most famous stories of Wendigo sightings was the early 1900s, when Cree chief named Jack Fiddler claimed to have killed 14 Wendigos in his lifetime. As the story goes, Swift Runner murdered and ate his whole family during the winter of 1879. When caught, Runner claimed to be possessed by a Wendigo spirit at the time of the murders. Nevertheless, he was then hanged for his actions. So, like, that right there kind of throws a weird statement in it, because it's like the whole point of it is like when the spirit takes over your body, you're not yourself anymore, which can be that, but it seems as if they managed to capture the person and he was still himself at some point, which is even harder to like describe or prove. Because again, all this is like theoretical. Like, I don't believe any of this shit is real, but it's like, it's folklore. It's legends that from the past, which has been around for ages, including more of the native tribes. Which actually, funny enough, factual thing here, if you cannot actually speak about this taboo, you can't sit there and talk about the Wendigos or speak the name of a skinwalker in these tribes, because they consider it as a bad omen, where it sits there and attracts them to that area when you call out their names and shit.
Tell me about it.
Which is a big reason why a lot of people don't say anything in like the tribes. And going to skinwalkers, though, skinwalkers are very interesting. They basically the same in some ways than with Wendigos, but the difference is apparently it's actually considered as a native witch, is a person that sit there and committed a taboo of murdering a loved one or a sibling, and use their remains to in a ritual to sit there and be allowed to possess, or not possess, but take on a form of like animals and stuff, which is the whole shape-shifting thing about skinwalkers. And the Navajo tribe actually refers them as Yinla Lushi, which I'm pretty sure I butchered that too. I'm butchering everything. Which is actually a meaning for trotting like a canine, which is because in the past time they used to only take on forms of like coyotes and wolves, mostly coyotes, which is actually a huge thing when we sit there and see a lot of weird looking coyotes now, because a lot of people are now sitting there saying it's just a bunch of skinwalkers taking on forms of coyotes and walking around. And that's what it brings my attention to, because it's kind of interesting to sit there and think like someone could actually shapeshift into weird animals and stuff, and it's very interesting to me. But it's basically two different territories, but kind of similar in stories, because they both kind of start off weird ways of how they've transformed, but one it seems to have more power over themselves versus the other. And let's see, like, even if I'm pretty sure people have already heard of this, but like the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, I'm pretty sure all of you heard about that.
No.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it.
Well, so what it is there's a farm ranch in Utah, which is close to a like location where skinwalkers apparently are, because it's in a Native American like land area. And the former owner, Terry Sherman, made accounts, like social accounts, like how we have TikTok and all that, showing different like situations that happened on the ranch, where it's got random moments of skinwalker trying to lure him over to it, like by screaming for help or acting like a person in trouble. And actually, you can even find this on TikTok now, because I've actually came across this myself. The current people that are posting TikTok about it, they're riding on a horse, and when they're riding along with their farm fence, their horse stopped and started staring off of the tree line. And then it seemed like a very weird moment because, you know, animals have instincts, so they all sit there and notice things a lot more than we do. And so he decided, okay, well, it's kind of weird, but we're gonna keep going. And then later on, he heard a scream, and the horse reacted to it. And then he's like, yeah, fuck this. And he turned around, and then the horse started booking it. Like, it's a very interesting thing. I would recommend anyone else to actually go take a look at the Skinwalker Ranch. It's a very interesting thing to actually talk about, but it's too much to talk about. These two alone, I have a lot to talk about, but we just don't have enough time for those.
Skinwalker Ranch. I'll have to keep that in mind.
There's actually a movie about it, apparently. I didn't know that.
There's a TV show.
And a TV show, yeah. There's a lot
I
about
was
this
gonna say
ranch.
there's a lot of it than just like TikTok and YouTube now for it.
It's just that's usually where I find it. I didn't even know about the show or the other thing, the movie. But yeah, that's a little bit of my thing. I do have 2 videos to represent, which is TikTok videos, so they'll be quick and easy and done.
Yeah, not my 20-minute long videos.
Yeah. I do have other TikTok videos which be interesting to talk about, like about speaking about tribes, there's apparently a native tribe out there which is not modernized. They live in their own like rules. It's a very much like a past village, and it's very interesting hearing about that because there's a guy that apparently have traveled through that area and heard about and saw these people. They're very violent, of course, because they live in their own world. So they are. Come on, Discord, please work.
Thought you were talking about those people they found on that one island.
No, probably, but the whole thing about that thing is a whole different subject. But it's a very interesting village to hear about too. I find a lot of conspiracy weird shit. Showing. There we go.
In the middle of the woods when.
Oh, that's not it. That's not the one. Where's the biker guy? I don't have it in my favorites. I will actually have to pull it up from what you.
I was about to say I sent you the videos for him.
Yeah, I had them set to my favorite, but they're no longer there, which is not ideal.
If you turn around, you never get to see what's on the other side. That's where. If you turn around, you never get to see what's on the other side. That's where all the gold is waiting over there. Could be missing out what's on the other side. Hello?
There's one more to this. So this guy basically he dirt bikes around trails and stuff, and he films himself doing that, and he puts it on TikTok.
Oh god, there's even more bones than last.
Funny enough, he pulled up for me. He's basically was trying to get over these trees because he wanted to explore the area, and then he starts hearing those yells. Anyone that understands about skinwalkers and all that, skinwalkers will actually make it seem like we further away than they actually are. They're very good at projecting their voice further away so they can actually get closer to the subject. So people will be less wary of how close it is. And basically people are saying that yelling was a skinwalker trying to lure him, and then when he responded, it went straight. It was starting to make its way closer to him.
Yeah, that's why I heard those trees branches break.
Yeah.
And they were like really close. They weren't like far away like as the as they sounded. It was like really, really close because again, you heard them like practically right next to him.
Yeah, it was close enough, but I don't think it was. But to debunk it for myself, I've actually seen people sit there and say that's what actually a bobcat sounds like. A bobcat actually does make those noises where if a dying coyote or a bobcat makes those exact noises. And I can believe that because I don't know where he's filming at and all that, but like he's in nature
Oregon
himself. Or he's in Oregon? Isn't that a bobcat state? Isn't he in the bobcat territory?
Let me look that up.
I know that it's a coyote state, so it's very possible it's that. But like, I mean, when you're listening to it, it's not like it doesn't sound like a person. It sounds like an animal, because that's what it sounded. It sounded like an animal.
Yeah, there's
yelling.
bobcats in Oregon. Yeah.
There are bobcats in Oregon. Yeah.
So that's what people
in
were saying.
Washington, they're in Oregon. So.
Yeah, people were saying it's an animal, but other people, not convinced because they think it's a skinwalker. But here's him going back, and then actually the first video didn't show this. There was a pile of bones here that he drove past the first time, and now he's on his way back because people want him to go back, and he's braver than I am. He actually crossing the same bones, but has a carcass. There's more. There's additional bones and a carcass there, which is, I believe, it's just an animal carcass.
Looks like we've already.
And another thing, this first video didn't capture
that tree
is that he actually falls in the fucking pit next to where he was exiting out. He actually falls.
Yeah. He actually, when he was moving his
driving
bike off
off
the tree, right? Or was he?
Yeah, he
gets off.
He's riding off. Yeah, it's this one. He goes off. He's riding, and he actually falls like off the road because he something trips him off, and he falls off the road, and he's actually pretty damn near close to falls towards where the skinwalker, quote unquote, allegedly is.
Yeah, he started.
And it's just
started to fall downhill a bit.
Yeah, he started to fall down the hill from where the skinwalker was allegedly standing.
Yeah, and then this is him returning because he's brave. I'm not.
Oh,
that's white people shit.
Dark as hell in here.
Yeah.
You just go back to where the scary monster was. I wonder what was that noise.
Yeah, it was funny enough. As he just said,
let's go investigate. But that tree is gone.
The tree's gone. The one that he was trying to climb over. All the trees were gone. Which, I mean, it's a trail, so I think it's a trail because it's got tracks and all that. So I'm assuming people probably found it and moved out of the way.
Oh, it's just dark as hell in here. I'm probably gonna turn around soon. Oh, there's two ways. Holy crap, dude, this trail goes on forever. It just got really quiet really fast. That was my cue to leave.
Yeah. So that's a
We tried enduro.
Yeah, so that was the quote unquote skinwalker that was there for him.
You see, to me, the video is very clear. It's GoPro. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's hard to say because I mean the thing is it's got a very odd body. It really isn't a very noticeable animal shape, but a lot of people are saying it's a coyote. But
I was gonna say, can you bring that video back up and go back to where he was with how he ended it? Can we go back to that?
Sure. Let's see if I can.
Not that. Yeah, that one. Can we go to the end again with it, where he actually shows the photo of it?
Yeah, I've got to pull up the one you sent because it's actual video.
Oh god, there's even more bones than last time.
Yeah. So that's it.
That's not a fucking bobcat.
I mean, thing is, it's just hard because the thing is, to me, it kind of looks edited. It really looks like it's not supposed to be there. It's very out of place. The shading just seems very different for where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I think it could be edited, but it could be an animal.
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Because like you said, it did get quiet. If you notice, there was all the crickets were going, and all of a sudden it just stopped.
Which is actually funny enough. If you're ever in the forest and you hear that noise, all the animals and all that are going off, and it suddenly gets quiet, the reason is there's a predator nearby and the animals are hiding. So if you ever have that situation, it doesn't mean there's a skinwalker. It means there is a predator nearby, and you need to be wary of your surroundings.
I.e. a skinwalker.
Yeah, I mean, again, skinwalkers are predatory animals. They're meat eaters. They're very aggressive animals and all that. That's what people are saying, what people believe. But they do it for all types of animals. It could be a bear, wolf, or whatever that could go by, and then nature just will go silent because they all know there's something there.
Afoot.
So like that's the whole thing. When you're out in the forest and all that, you just gotta be careful. If you hear noise, you're fine for the most part. I wouldn't say 100% of the time it will go quiet if there's an actual predator. But you know, animals understand there's a predator nearby. I need to be quiet, otherwise I am dead. So it's just instinctive how animals are. It's like when it gets quiet, there's danger nearby. And it happens a lot around scenes with skinwalkers. When it gets real quiet, a lot of skinwalker situations happen. So like that's another info thing to go on. But yeah, it's a very interesting topic. I like to talk about skinwalkers and all that because it's just interesting to me to know that there's some weird creature out there.
Hey, can you pull up that video I sent you? The one with I could actually see the video that you were talking about. The one that you had. You actually have it. It's right there. Where the actions in the video are performed by professionals and under supervision profession.
Oh yeah, there it is. This is it.
There's, but go to the video I sent you. The one with fucking whatchamacallit. The one how Cody wants us to react if we see a skinwalker or a ghost or anything like that.
Didn't you send that to the Snapchat?
No, I put it in the. I believe I sent you the video for it.
It's not my thing. I thought that was a Snapchat. But the video, people are already probably seen it. The video is basically there's some weird humanoid creature behind a tree. People are assuming it's a skinwalker, and a guy is actually going up and trying to fight it. Like he's throwing shit at it, and he starts running at the tree where it's hiding, and then sits there and starts swinging, and then the video cuts.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, so that's basically it. That's basically how I would picture Cody going at a skinwalker. He would actually try to fight while I'm sitting there in the far back region. Yeah, but that is the skinwalker for me. Leave it up for anyone else because it did take a lot of time.
You pulled to me this episode, which is fine.
Found a topic I actually like.
Now going into the next order spot, Jay, what is your opinion on the skinwalkers that we've just gone over?
Yeah,
Jay?
You got something, Jay?
I'm thinking.
No.
I think for like stuff like that, not particularly what I think of or I think is true. The forest going quiet thingy, it's just like a standard, like that is something important to know. Is that when the forest is quiet, you should be quiet, type of thing. Because animals do have like a lot of base instincts that I think are really important to remember.
Yeah, self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. My wording is very good at times.
He's worrying about the skinwalkers.
They're coming.
Yeah,
Cody,
stuff
do
like
you
that.
like playing solo games?
I'm sorry?
Do you like playing solo games?
No.
Okay, he's still there.
Cody, what's your opinion on the skinwalkers?
Yeah, the only thing I know about Skinwalkers is the video game is fun.
Video game?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't. Again, that's something that I don't believe in. It's just, you know, like it's just reaching. You know, the people reaching for shit, and I'm not really much of a reacher, if you know what I mean.
How disappointing.
Disappointing.
Yeah, no.
You're pulling a James here, my guy.
I had to.
Well, I was more going for a sex joke there, but okay.
James, what is your opinion on
Skinwalkers?
the skinwalkers?
Make cool horror stories, I'll tell you that much. But it's right up there with Ghost. Just kind of don't believe in them, and they're something that it's a kind of a cool thing to play or to imagine, but it's not real.
So if a skinwalker pulls up on you, then will you believe it?
Definitely,
See,
if it pulls up on me, because
yeah.
It's too late then. It's too late then. If
You're
it's
done.
real, yeah. If I'll believe it, but I know I'm just believing that to my grave.
Yep, pretty much. And then Mason will somehow like, I go to his house at one point and I'm like, man, I really like these OnlyFans girls. They're nice and normal. I like normal girls, you know.
Oh no. The best one is what is it? What's Skinwalker Mason? What's a Skinwalker trait that would easily be told that you're being controlled by a Skinwalker? I think mine would be
I'm selling my stuff on CS:GO.
No, fucking, what was the one? It was a Fortnite joke. We had a Fortnite joke for it. I don't remember which one it was.
Oh dear. Yeah, I definitely don't remember it.
No, I think it was like oh, jeez, I'm trying to think of what the Skinwalker meme was. I don't remember. It's gonna hit me when we're out of here. It's gonna hit me.
Yeah, it's gonna hit you.
I think we got most of the topics. I think that are worth genuinely
the
talking
topics,
about.
2 topics we ranted on.
Yeah, we I mean, which is fine. I mean, this just leaves the door for a potential third one, but not immediately anytime soon. I think we're good on the 2-parters. I think
next host.
Yeah, it's up to whoever wants to take on the urban legends talk. Then that will probably be the one where we start going into the third parter. Thank you guys for watching the Casually Tilted podcast. Again, we are uploading these up on Tuesdays, so be on the lookout for Tuesdays going forward. And then, Cody, is there anything you want to say?
Nope, fuck them.
You don't want to know who's driving this podcast?
Who's driving this podcast? Oh my god!
It seems like that's now gonna be part of
trying
our
to
outro.
talk. What do you mean I can't talk in the podcast? They'll mess you up.
Oh man.
Lord.
That's just now become part of our outro, isn't it?
Hell yeah, that's why the end of the podcast.
Oh my god!
And I do my typical outro.
Jason, in the fucking podcast.
It's recorded.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Casually Tilted podcast. My name is Trig, and I'm the host for episode 3. We talk about random topics on here. Fuck. I fucked it up. I misread it. We talk about random topics here on podcasts that could be hit. What the fuck? Hold on.
Just speak from the heart.
No, I'm trying to read it, but it's fucking that messes up.
I can tell I'm gonna do a lot of editing on this one.
Should we just stop? Hey, just stop
No,
the stream. Stop.
I got it.
You're right,
Let's just stop.
Let me